Welcome to Moscow Mas. I am your host, Raul Mas. Thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you to our sponsors, Grimal Joyeria, Longevity, Cachita Coffee. Thank you for being on this program. A lot of news going on in the world this week. We had the debate not long ago, President Trump and Joe Biden, that contentious debate. But this morning we received the news, actually it was around 1 o'clock in the morning, that the President and Melania Trump have come down with COVID-19. And so, that is sort of the elephant in the room. We've got a terrific guest this morning, Ana Maria Rodriguez, who, is a member of the Florida House of Representatives and is now running for the Florida Senate. We're going to talk to her about her campaign and a bunch of different issues. But obviously, with this being sort of front and center, we want to start with a conversation regarding that. Ana Maria, welcome to the program. Thank you for being with us. And when did you get the news about the president's COVID-19, and what's your immediate reaction?
Well, Raul, it's funny you should ask me when I heard. I actually saw your text message this morning when I woke up, and I didn't know because I go to sleep early. I have two small children. I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. So between them and the campaign, I'm worn out. So I go to bed pretty early. And I woke up and I saw your text message and I said, oh my gosh. And then, of course, I turned on my usual Fox and Friends in the morning and it was all over the news. And, it's very unfortunate that this is happening. Obviously, it shows that everyone and anyone is vulnerable to this virus. Mm-hmm. It's not something that affects, you by skin color, by race, by income level, even obviously the highest office holder in the country and in the world was susceptible to it. So I'm praying for him and his family that they overcome it. And I think, obviously the president has the best of medical care and treatment, at his fingertips. Sure. So I think he'll be fine. But I do think it does put a bit of a hamper on his obviously his campaign activities, because as we all know, he draws energy from those big crowds that he draws and puts together at those rallies every so often. So I think he's in a tough situation from that perspective because he's not going to be able to go out and do that as much now.
Listen, as I understand it, the CDC guidelines sort of call for him to be in isolation for 10 days. I'm not quite sure what the difference is between isolation and quarantine for 14 days for most of the people that were with him. But that information came to me from an interview I saw this morning with Dr. Oz, who I didn't even know who Dr. Oz was until a couple of years ago. But seems to be a very bright fellow. Your husband's a doctor, right? So what's his perspective on this stuff? I mean, you've got some insights. You're married to a doctor. What does he say about COVID-19?
So it's funny you should ask that. The survival rate for COVID is extremely high. And being that President Trump is in a vulnerable age group, and also because he is somewhat overweight, and I don't know all the details of his health, history, but he seems to be, overall in good health, and that is a very positive, obviously perspective, and something that's good for the fact that he, is a very energetic person. Yeah, sure. He is someone that we've seen has a tremendous amount of stamina, and all indications from what my husband can tell, and I think from what most people can tell, is that he's going to be just fine. Yep. But he probably needs to take a little bit of time off, sure, which I know is not in his vocabulary, as we know. Right. But I think he's going to be just fine. But a lot of politics is about optics. So, we being that we're 32 days from the election, I'm not sure that he has the luxury of really, just laying down and literally not doing anything for the next 10 days or so. Right. So whatever version of repose or resting he deems fit remains to be seen. But he definitely should take some type of at least some kind of a break to get his body and his defenses up. Right.
Right before we came on the air, I read something where apparently he's got some mild symptoms, according to the White House doctors that have examined him. Hopefully that'll be the extent of it, and he'll get over this. But like you said, I mean, it makes everybody aware of the fact that no matter who you are in America, you're vulnerable to it. There's been some unfortunate glee on the part of some Democrats and some of the president's detractors this morning. I don't really understand that. I mean, it's just kind of crazy, boy, where we've gone in this country, where the president falls ill, and you see certain parts of the population sort of taking pleasure in it. I mean, America's really taken a serious fall in terms of our political discourse these last couple of years, and it hasn't just been on the part of Donald Trump. I mean, it's been on the part of the Democrats as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, and
listen,
I think,
shifting gear.
Raul,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if the shoe were on the other foot, if Obama had gotten sick, everybody would be, oh my gosh, poor President Obama,
Right.
and that's, hey, I didn't vote for President Obama, but I never once disparaged he earned that. He won fair and square.
Right.
And I think it's unfortunate that Democrats take that position at every turn to throw, to pound sand and just.
Well, part of the problem is that they never accepted the fact that the president won fair and square. I mean, they didn't accept it during the campaign. They tried to, do everything possible to tear him down, and immediately after being elected, they continued with the same thing. They declared themselves to be the resistance, and they've been the resistance, and from the very beginning, sought to impeach the president before he had even come into office. They were already talking about impeaching him. Just, absolutely ridiculous, but we'll see. November 3rd is not that far, ahead of us. And I think, to the extent that, Trump is able to overcome this and come back, I was telling some friends this morning that I can just picture, the president coming back to a massive outdoor rally, and, the music playing in the background. I suggested the Superman theme song, coming out and rallying his troops again. And I think showing to the world that, like, as your husband indicated, listen, COVID-19 is a serious disease, but the fact of the matter is that we now have a handle on how to treat it. We know the most vulnerable population, and there's a pretty good, very high rate of survival these days. And we sort of need to sort of, take this in perspective and wish the president the best and move forward. And moving forward, let's talk about the Florida economy. Governor Desantis says he's going to open up the Florida economy. Is that taking place?
Well, I have to tell you, Raul, I think the governor is doing such a great job, not only with taking the bold steps of entering phase 3 for the state of Florida, but also I wanted to mention something that I think is of critical importance, is the crackdown on rioters and people who damage property in the state of Florida in the name of protesting. Right. He has proposed very strict penalties for people who damage property during these times, the rioters, and especially if they're people who come from other states, because as I'm sure you know, a lot of these people are hired guns by certain people that want to create havoc and chaos, and they go from state to state, and they basically mount these protests, and the real protesters, the real people who are there to express their discontent or their disagreement with what's going on, there are some, and then you get these additional people who are, like I said, they're paid and they're there to just create havoc and to cause property damage. So yeah. I'm very proud of Governor DeSantis's move to make those people, pay a price for coming to our state.
Listen, you're absolutely damage. Spot on, Ana Maria. I had as a guest on this program early on a good friend of mine, Greg Terp, who is a retired major from the Miami-Dade Police Department. And at the time, this is sort of early in the summer when we were starting to see the protests in Seattle and Portland. And, Greg was telling me that, they had experience here in Miami, during the, what was it, the sort of global conference that we hosted here in Miami. I forget which one, but it was back in, 2005, I think, time frame or something. That back then,
La Cumbre
Yeah, some of the Americas and that stuff. I mean, even back then, I mean, you know, and they were aware of the fact that there were these, you know, groups that were associated with, you know, Antifa, these outside agitators. And, you know, law enforcement was, you know, aware that they would travel from city to city, and not just in the United States, in Europe as well, you know, doing these protests. I mean, the big battle, if you recall at the time, was, you know, the battle against Wall Street and the battle against capitalism, right? I mean, this was during the Obama administration and stuff. Even back then, I mean, you know, these folks were out protesting, and they are in fact organized. They do in fact go from city to city. And I think you're absolutely right. I mean, you know, the president has called for looking at the possibility of charging these people with sedition, you know, insurrection against the government of the United States. And I think that's totally warranted. You know, we need to crack down on this. I mean, nothing wrong with peaceful protests. Everybody agrees on that. But these so-called peaceful protests haven't been that peaceful, at least not this past summer they haven't. And they seem to have sort of devolved into this, you know, incredible chaos that we're seeing, you know, in so many of our streets. Talk to me about your campaign for the Florida Senate. What made you decide to jump into that fray? I mean, just by way of background, you were a Doral City Council Commissioner for about 8 years. Then you ran for the Florida House of Representatives. You've been there for a while now. And now there's an opportunity for you to jump into the Senate, correct?
Yes. And Raul, it's funny because the person who was actually planning to run for this seat was our Lieutenant Governor, Jeanette Nunez.
Right.
She had actually filed, and she had already started raising money for, to run for the Florida Senate. And of course, we know Governor Desantis tapped her for that position of Lieutenant Governor. So last year, actually it was about a year and a few months ago, Jeanette called me and said, "Hey, Anna, I think you'd be great for the Senate. I really think you have the temperament, you have the work ethic, and I think our state needs someone like you to represent us in the Florida Senate." So obviously, I spoke to my husband and my family, and we thought, okay, this is it. We're gonna make the move, and we're gonna go to the Senate. So it's been great. I really do what I do, Raul, and I think a lot of us who are parents, we try to make this world a better place for our kids and our grandchildren. And I don't have grandchildren yet. I'm still, but I think, anyone who's a public servant and wants to do what's right, you really don't do it for yourself. You do it for the next generation. And I see a lot of my friends, and I'm sure you have a lot of friends as well, that, their children study outside of Florida, and then they don't come back. They don't come back because the cost of living is high. And for other reasons, which, we live in paradise. So it's not that, the cost is obviously, it's because it's a very desirable place to live. But I think as a public servant, what I want to do is make sure that we maintain our water quality, that we, have enough jobs, good paying jobs, not just, entry level, which, it's entry level's fine for a certain season of your life. But at some point, obviously, you want to make more money. And we need to have those types of jobs in our economy so that people would want to stay living here and want to be here for the long term. So I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish as a state senator. And my trajectory in city of Doral, being the city with the second lowest millage rate in Miami-Dade County, speaks for itself. I believe that government should be kept small and taxes should be kept low. I think Floridians know how to best manage their money, not the government. So my thing is just, making sure that we continue keeping our taxes low and letting people decide how to best, spend their money. And then on another topic, which you haven't asked, but I'll just go ahead and mention it. I'm a big proponent of the Second Amendment. I've had my concealed weapon license since I was 18 years old. And I believe that, people have the right to protect themselves. I think the left is, talking from both sides of their mouth because they want to take away our guns. And then they also want to defund the police. And you just can't have it both ways.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm for, keeping our police funded. They've endorsed my candidacy. They've been very supportive. I have the PBA, not only the state PBA, but I also have the local PBA. And as you know, Raul, my district goes all the way to Key West. So right. I have the sheriff of Monroe County, Rick Ramsey's also endorsing my candidacy.
Yeah, I've met him. He's a pretty impressive guy, man.
He is an impressive guy, and he is a rock star in Monroe County. So having him in my corner is very important. And then last but not least, I have the Florida Attorney General, Ashley Moody, endorsing me as well. So, I am clearly the law and order candidate. And that's that, my record, like I said, speaks for itself.
Yeah, listen, I think you've got a great record so far. I think you're on the right track. I know you've also been very involved in making healthcare more affordable for our residents down here in South Florida. Another big issue for Floridians, especially since we have so many retirees here in our state. But you're very focused on sort of the important issues, if you will. I mean, making our communities safer, making creating more jobs, making sure we remain taxes low. I think too many times, and I mean, look, I think everybody is in favor of saving the economy, but we end up going down these rabbit holes about the Green New Deal and about trillions of dollars being spent here and there, and a lot of lofty goals and things of this sort. We've got a serious problem right now in this state, which is our economy is so dependent on tourism, and yet the hotel industry has been killed. You know what I'm saying? The tourism business in general, the cruise lines. We need to focus on getting these businesses up and running again.
Yes, we do, Raul. And then another factor that people don't consider down in South Florida is that the second largest part of our economy is agriculture.
Right.
So I will be representing the vast majority of our agriculture industry in my Senate district.
Right.
And I've met with farmers. I've met with many people in the farming community, and they have a lot of government, regulations and things that they have to deal with. And I think we need to try to make it easier for them to continue farming and growing the things that we eat, the things that we need to survive and to live, and not have to import as many things, agriculturally than we have to. Right. And I think people, when you talk to people about, what they consume, people don't want things from other countries. They really, with everything going on in the world, people want USA products. They want local products, and they want local, food and whatnot. So we really need to try to protect our farming industry in South Florida, but throughout the state, because they do make a tremendous contribution to the economy.
Absolutely. Ana Maria, thank you for taking time out. I know you're out there busy knocking on door to door, doing some door-to-door campaigning today, so I appreciate you taking the time out from your schedule for doing that. Tell the audience where they can go to learn more about you. What is your campaign website address?
My website is www.electanamaria.com.
Electanamaria.com. That's easy to remember.
Easy to remember. And actually, absentee ballots are landing today.
Right.
So I am number 30 on the ballot. So once you see number 30, bubble it in and you're good to go. But don't forget all the other candidates that are there too.
Terrific. Thank you for being with us, Ana Maria. Ana Maria Rodriguez, a rising star here in Florida. Been very active in our community for as long as I've known her. Been very successful in the city of Doral as a council member, House of Representatives in Tallahassee, now running for the Florida Senate. She's got 110% of my support, and I hope you'll endorse her as well. Thank you, Ana Maria, for being with us, and good luck knocking on those doors.
Thank you, Raul, and thank you for your friendship. You've always been there for me. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
You too.
We'll be right back. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back with some more news and information here on Más con Más. Stick with us. Take care. We are ENTV USA. You can find us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Roku. You can also download our mobile applications either from Google Play or from the Apple Store, depending on your online device. Give us a shot. You'll like what you see. Con una vista, basta.
Super Greens is a one-of-a-kind blend that's loaded with hard-to-find nutrient-dense superfoods. We've used what we've learned from our more than 20 years working with mineral-based nutrition to create one of the healthiest plant-based nutritional products available. Each superfood was carefully selected so that it complements and enhances the others, helping to maximize Super Green's nutritional power. Next, we added a specialized fermentation technique to increase the bioavailability of each superfood. Finally, we put in powerful probiotics and enzymes for added digestive support to give you jam-packed nutritional support. Youngevity Super Greens, the highly alkalinizing super supplement that helps balance your body. It's the superfood-powered way to get more organic fruits and veggies in your day, all in just one scoop. Check with your Youngevity distributor to learn more.
Understanding your microbiome can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Ultimate Microbiome by Youngevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Antioxidants are essential to protect your cells against the damaging effects of free radicals. Purmeric by Youngevity harnesses the power of nature to combat free radicals by delivering a potent boost of antioxidants known for their incredible healing properties. Sourced from certified organic turmeric root, Purmeric contains 95% curcuminoids, the active compounds that quash free radicals. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for thousands of years to promote both heart and brain health, as well as its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. We've also included a botanical blend of phytonutrients that include flavonoids, carotenoids, and sulfides. These natural, plant-based chemicals are powerful contributors to overall health and well-being. Purmeric, the organic antioxidant supplement from Youngevity, formulated to promote optimal health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean you have to look it or feel it. Immortalium by Youngevity was developed to support your body's ability to age normally and healthfully. It's an advanced anti-aging supplement that combines the most effective essential nutrients in a cutting-edge, bi-layered and extended release tablet designed to support your telomere health and natural aging process. Telomeres are the biological clocks within your cells that form the protective ends of almost every chromosome in your body. Telomeres help prevent the chromosomes from deteriorating. The longer and healthier the telomeres in a cell, the greater the health and anti-aging benefits. Immortalium contains synergizing antioxidant enzymes and telomere health-promoting nutrients that are quickly absorbed to give your body time to break down the antioxidants and put them to work. Immortalium, advanced anti-aging support that can help fight the natural aging process. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate. Paying attention to your overall health also means focusing on the command center of it all, your brain. Factors like stress, lack of sleep, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, and the bombardment of pollutants and toxins can all diminish brain and neural functions. When was the last time you concentrated on your brain health? Synaptive by Youngevity is a cutting-edge, unique brain support supplement that delivers powerful nutrients both immediately and throughout the day. Its anti-stress nutrients provide instant brain-boosting support that helps with mental focus and cognitive activity. To enhance your body's neuroprotection, Synaptive's full-spectrum antioxidant blend targets 6 major classes of free radicals that inhibit brain function. This powerful nutrient combination also promotes healthy blood flow to the brain. Synaptive, optimal antioxidant neuroprotection and support for a healthy brain. Now that's something to think about. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
A strong heart is a happy heart. Your body's systems depend on a healthy cardiovascular system to thrive. Without a healthy heart, you could experience symptoms like fatigue, aches and pains, dizziness, or shortness of breath. Youngevity developed Ultimate EFA Plus with a proprietary balanced blend of essential fatty acids. We started with flaxseed oil. It's been shown to improve the elasticity of arteries and support healthy blood pressure. Next, we included cold water fish oils, rich in omega-3s that can promote a healthy cardiovascular system and even increase levels of good HDL cholesterol. Then we added borage oil, known for its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Blended together, these essential fatty acids provide you with the optimal blend of nutrients to help maintain normal cardiovascular health. Ultimate EFA Plus, the right nutrients to improve your heart health naturally. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Mas con Mas. I am your host, Raul Mas Canosa. Thank you for being with us. Again, thanks to our sponsors, Grimal Joyeria, Youngevity, Cachita Coffee, and thank you for watching and keeping us on the air. We just had a great interview with Ana Maria Rodriguez, a woman that I've known for quite some period of time. Ana Maria is a real gem in our community. I mean, her heart is in the right place. She served on the Doral City Council, as you heard in that interview, for I think 8 years. Very effective member. I think rose to become the vice mayor of the city of Doral at one point during her tenure. And very dedicated to the bread and butter issues that are so important to all of us. She's married. She's got 2 young boys that she's raising here in South Florida. And she's always been a very, very hard worker. Her father was a great Cuban-American, very close to my late brother Jorge Mas Canosa, and that's, you know, where we're sort of originally we had that connection. And just an incredibly talented and successful woman. And we've got so many incredibly successful, talented women in the Republican Party in South Florida these days. And I'm their biggest fan, man. I mean, I think women bring certain characteristics to any job they undertake that quite frankly outshine us men in a lot of different categories. They're a hell of a lot more patient. They oftentimes pay much more attention than we do as to what's going on around us. They have a sixth sense. They know where people are coming from pretty quickly. And I think that their contribution to our society in general can never be overstated. And so I'm a big fan of, you know, the more women in positions of power, I'm a huge fan. Then again, I've got 2 daughters, so I'm sort of biased in that perspective, and I'm rooting for them all the time. But Ana Maria, after she finished in the Doral City Council, she went on to serve in the House of Representatives. She's been there for a number of years now. And now, as she mentioned, she's running for that seat for the Florida Senate, representing most of South Dade and practically all of the Keys, if not all the Keys. Huge territory, very important. As she indicated in that interview, water quality is very important for that community, for the farmers, making sure they have enough water for their crops, making sure they don't have saltwater intrusion into the water table. And for the Keys, you know, the environment and water is absolutely essential. I mean, so much of their economy is based on tourism, is based on fishing and the hotel industry. And, you know, we got to make sure that, you know, we keep the Florida Keys vibrant and going strongly. So, you know, urge you to support Ana Maria and move forward with her campaign. And it was a delight having her on. As I talked to her, you know, about the big news, I mean, she mentioned that I was the one that sort of broke the news to her that the president had taken ill, unfortunately, with COVID-19. That news came out around 1 in the morning. Just so you know, I'm not normally awake at that hour, but for some reason last night I was. I lost one of my big dogs a few days ago, and I'm still kind of missing having him around the house and having a little bit of trouble sleeping at night. But I was up and suddenly got a little alert that, you know, this had happened. And the more I reflect on it, the more I think that, to a certain extent, I mean, I tend to be the person that sees the silver lining in the clouds, if you will. Obviously distressing news. Nobody wants to see the President of the United States. I mean, no reasonable person wants to see the President of the United States and the First Lady come down sick. But, it doesn't surprise me either. I mean, if there is somebody who's an essential government worker and needs to be out there and needs to be dealing with the problems of this country, it is the President of the United States. And it's pretty evident to anybody who's seen him or, over these past few years that this is an individual of incredible, unbridled energy, who was out, who, as Ana Maria mentioned, gets an enormous amount of enthusiasm when he's in front of a crowd. And it doesn't surprise me that he came down with COVID-19, despite the protections that I'm sure he had. Here's a man who's the most protected individual in the world in terms of the Secret Service. And yet, guess what? He fell victim to COVID-19. Everybody around him gets tested constantly. But you know what? It happened. I think the president's going to, fight this off pretty quickly. Right before we started doing this program, there was some news out from his physicians that apparently was showing some mild symptoms. Let's hope that that's all that happens. But I'm pretty sure he's going to make a relatively speedy recovery. I had the opportunity to meet the President of the United States about 2 years ago through a mutual friend who was kind enough to introduce me to him. And I met him at his resort up in West Palm Beach. He's got a huge golf property there. And I remember I met him just as he was coming in to grab some lunch after having played 18 holes of golf. And, he struck me as one of these individuals that when he walks into a room, everybody knows that he's there. And obviously, he's now the President of the United States. He had, a lot of people that were there, waiting to meet him and talk to him, et cetera, et cetera. But the minute he walked in, he dominated that room. And you could tell, an incredibly vibrant individual, a lot of energy, had just come from playing 18 holes of golf. He was kind of sweaty, but he was, anxious to shake people's hands, anxious to talk to people, hungry for lunch, sat down, had a wonderful lunch with him. He was, trading jokes and laughing with the waitress that was, serving him his food. Apparently they've known each other for about 10 years, and they were having a little bit of a banter back and forth, and just an incredibly energetic individual. And, that impression has sort of stayed with me. I mean, this is an individual who, even though I think he's, 74 years old, is certainly not, doesn't appear to be 74 years old. He loves to play golf. He plays it quite often. He's an athletic, vigorous individual. And I have this thing of, the president's going to recover really quick. And I can just see him in a very, when he's finally recovered, going out and having a massive outdoor rally with his supporters, okay, with some music and fanfare accompanying it. I suggested to somebody they ought to use the theme from the Superman movie, that famous John Williams, the composer, and the London Symphony Orchestra, the sound of, Superman as he comes onto the stage. And who knows? I think, it's going to be a net positive at the end of the day for the president, assuming all works out. And look, I think the message that it will send to America is a good one from the standpoint of, hey, everybody's vulnerable. We need to continue taking care of ourselves. As you've seen me mention on this program many, many times, I have my mask in my pocket here as well. I wear it whenever I'm around, crowded groups of individuals. I maintain my social distance. I try and follow as best I can those guidelines from the CDC. But I'm also firmly convinced that we need to reopen this economy. I mean, Florida as a state depends heavily on tourism. It depends heavily on the hotel industry. It depends heavily on the cruise line industry. And we simply cannot remain sheltered forever and ever. Those vaccines are around the corner. They're going to come out sooner rather than later. We're going to start inoculating people. We're going to start doing testing on a massive scale throughout the country. Make sure we get everybody vaccinated. Make sure everybody is taken care of. And I think 2021 will be a great year for the United States. And I say that regardless of who's in office. I mean, simply getting past this horrible year that we've had in this pandemic will be a huge accomplishment. But I think 2021 is going to bode well for America. I think, we saw this morning some of the economic numbers that came out in terms of the new the jobs created. It was lower than expected. It was around 661,000. I think observers were looking for around 850,000. But still, the unemployment rate dropped below 8%. I think it's now 7.9%. That's a good thing. Not as good as we would like it to be, but given the fact that we also saw earlier this week the news that, Disneyland is laying off 28,000 employees, the news that the airlines are having to lay off tens of thousands of employees because, their business still hasn't come back. I think, things are on a pretty good track considering what we've been going through this past year. And I'm hopeful that 2021 will be very positive for America that the president gets over this. And I hope that Joe Biden remains safe and healthy. I don't want COVID-19 to hit anybody, quite frankly. And that includes, President's opponent, Joe Biden. I hope we get through this. I'm looking forward to the vice presidential debate. Hopefully those will happen. We'll wait and see what happens with the presidential debates. I think those will eventually go through as well. We'll have at least one more before the election. I'm looking forward to see what happens on November 3rd. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with some more news. Stick with us here on Mas con Mas.
As you age, the collagen that helps keep your body in optimal physical condition breaks down faster than your body can replace it. But now, it's easy to give your body the healthy dose of collagen it needs with Collagen Creamer from Youngevity. It's a delicious vanilla-flavored coffee creamer that's packed with 7.5 grams of bovine-sourced collagen peptides. Youngevity's Collagen Creamer uses 2 types of collagen to better supply the protein needed to repair and strengthen the connective tissue in your body. It also supports healthy hair, skin, nails, and even bones. We've also formulated Collagen Creamer with MCT, healthy fats that the body is able to absorb and convert into an instant boost of energy. Add it to coffee or one of your other favorite beverages when you need it. Youngevity Collagen Creamer. Support for healthy connective tissue and more energy, all in a tasty vanilla-flavored creamer. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate. Antioxidants are essential to protect your cells against the damaging effects of free radicals. Turmeric by Youngevity harnesses the power of nature to combat free radicals by delivering a potent boost of antioxidants known for their incredible healing properties. Sourced from certified organic turmeric root, turmeric contains 95% curcuminoids, the active compounds that quash free radicals. Turmeric has been used in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for thousands of years to promote both heart and brain health, as well as its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. We've also included a botanical blend of phytonutrients that include flavonoids, carotenoids, and sulfides. These natural, plant-based chemicals are powerful contributors to overall health and well-being. Turmeric, the organic antioxidant supplement from Youngevity. formulated to promote optimal health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate. A strong heart is a happy heart. Your body's systems depend on a healthy cardiovascular system to thrive. Without a healthy heart, you could experience symptoms like fatigue, aches and pains, dizziness, or shortness of breath. Longevity developed Ultimate EFA Plus with a proprietary balanced blend of essential fatty acids. We started with flaxseed oil. It's been shown to improve the elasticity of arteries and support healthy blood pressure. Next, we included cold water fish oils, rich in omega-3s that can promote a healthy cardiovascular system and even increase levels of good HDL cholesterol. Then we added borage oil, known for its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Blended together, these essential fatty acids provide you with the optimal blend of nutrients to help maintain normal cardiovascular health. Ultimate EFA Plus, the right nutrients to improve your heart health naturally. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Understanding your microbiome can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Paying attention to your overall health also means focusing on the command center of it all, your brain. Factors like stress, lack of sleep, poor diet, a sedentary lifestyle, and the bombardment of pollutants and toxins can all diminish brain and neural functions. When was the last time you concentrated on your brain health? Synaptive by Longevity is a cutting-edge, unique brain support supplement that delivers powerful nutrients both immediately and throughout the day. Its anti-stress nutrients provide instant brain-boosting support that helps with mental focus and cognitive activity. To enhance your body's neuroprotection, Synaptive's full-spectrum antioxidant blend targets 6 major classes of free radicals that inhibit brain function. This powerful nutrient combination also promotes healthy blood flow to the brain. Synaptive, optimal antioxidant neuroprotection and support for a healthy brain. Now that's something to think about. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome back to Moscow Mas. Thank you for sticking with us. Wanted to cover a few more things that have been going on in the news. Obviously, the news of the president's health has been sort of the elephant in the room during the course of the day. But we got a lot of other things going on that have transpired this past week or so, including that debate that the president had with Joe Biden. Obviously, a lot of criticism from various sides of the aisle. in terms of the nature of that event, how very few people were able to really get into the policies because they kept interrupting each other. And I think I agree that we need to find a way to make that debate format more palatable for the viewing public. I think it would be wrong to try and silence the president or have some sort of a mute button. In fact, I was listening this morning to an interview with Chris Wallace, who was the moderator, as you know, of that debate. And he was absolutely cringing at the thought of the moderator having some button on his desk and telling the President of the United States that he could not, complete his sentences or finish his. To have these debates, but instead of giving 2 minutes to each side, we need to give them a lot more time, both in terms of expressing their viewpoints and also, when they answer questions. Don't just give them 2 minutes and then cut them off, while they're still trying to finish what they're saying and go to their opponent. Give them time, to basically say what it is they want to say and get it out of their system, if you will. I think that was part of the problem with the format that we saw a week ago. That doesn't look well, and I think we lost out on the ability to hear more in terms of policy and in terms of what each of them was going to do as President of the United States. One other thing, I think the president came out fighting the way he did, and he was as frustrated as he was because a lot of the quote-unquote mainstream media, and you've heard me before, I don't even refer to them as media anymore. New York Times, Washington Post, MSDNC, CNN, these guys are now propaganda ministries for the Democratic Party. That's what they are. I mean, let's be real here. They're showing absolutely zero objectivity. The day following that debate, I mean, if you were to look at the New York Times, you were to look at the Washington Post, every single headline started with one word, and that one word was Trump. And everything past that was all Trump did this, Trump did that, all negative. I mean, I scanned through them. It was absolutely unbelievable. So, the media has not, these propaganda ministers are not holding Joe Biden accountable for certain things that he should be questioned on. He absolutely should have answered that question about whether or not he's going to pack the Supreme Court. I mean, my God, that's a really important issue. The Democrats have been talking about it. He said, I am the Democratic Party. He mentioned that towards the beginning of his debate when Trump was asking about the Green New Deal, okay? He says, well, I am the Democratic Party. Well, hell, if you are the Democratic Party, then tell us how you feel about this stuff. You're supposedly running for the highest office in the land. Let's confront these issues. And let's also address that issue of the corruption that we've seen, the nepotism with Hunter Biden. I think that is absolutely legitimate. What about all this stuff? What about all these phony investigations that we've had for years now? The impeachment, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars spent on a rabbit hole that had no end and didn't even need to be there to begin with. I mean, my gosh, man, it's just like, Trump gets blamed for everything. And here comes sleepy Joe Biden, who, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this morning, but we didn't get anything out of his campaign until late in the morning. Rumor has it that the man doesn't even wake up until 8 o'clock in the morning. A sleepy Joe was asleep, I guess, until 8 or 8:30 when he finally woke up and found out what was going on in the world. The press really needs to hold Joe Biden accountable. The press needs to, ask him these tough questions, okay? You're gonna impose trillions of dollars of taxes on United States businesses. Is that not going to crush the recovery? There's a nonpartisan organization out there called the Tax Foundation. They've basically come out and said that if Joe Biden's tax policies are implemented, you can expect to see long-term GDP decrease by almost 1.5%. That is the last thing that we need in America. We need to increase our gross domestic product. We need to increase our economic activity, not send it in the other direction as a result of all these tax increases. That is a big worry for me, a very big worry. And I think the mainstream media has not challenged him on that, has not challenged him on that point of his economic policy, of his support for this, Green New Deal and spending, excuse me, trillions of dollars on weatherproofing our buildings and getting rid of fossil fuels and, no carbon emissions by 2035. I mean, it's all great, okay? But what's it going to cost? We already have $30 trillion of debt on our books. So you're going to impose these massive tax increases that are going to crush businesses. It's going to decrease economic activities. When you decrease economic activities, you're going to have less tax revenues coming into the government. And then on top of that, that money that you brought in from those tax increases, instead of using it to spend down this incredible deficit that we have, you're going to fritter it away on all these new policies to incentivize, all these Green New Deals and get away from fossil fuels. I just think that's a huge mistake. And I think the press has been, very lax in holding Biden's feet to the fire. And I hope that changes real soon. One other piece of news, obviously we're seeing, Amy Coney Barrett going through the process now in the Senate. I think she absolutely will be confirmed by the Senate before Election Day. That shouldn't surprise anybody. If the shoe were on the other foot, the Democrats would be doing exactly the same thing. One other thing that I wanted to mention that, has not been talked about, but I recall it every year around this time, October 3rd and 4th, 1993, we had 19 U.S. Servicemen killed in a godforsaken place called Mogadishu in Somalia. We had, I think, close to 80 that were wounded in that battle. We had American Rangers and Delta operators in the 10th Mountain Division in Mogadishu involved in some UN peacekeeping efforts. The country was being torn apart by a civil war and warlords, and we sent the Army there to try and tamp things down a bit and get a lid on the violence that was taking place. We lost a lot of brave soldiers in that battle, made very famous in the movie called Black Hawk Down. Thanks to a terrific reporter, Mark Bowden from Philadelphia, who wrote a book about that war. Otherwise, it would be in the dustbin of history, with very few people knowing what took place back in October of 1993 in Mogadishu. So it's been 27 years, but I think it's important, to remember our fallen. We had 2 recipients of the Medal of Honor in that battle, men who, despite knowing that they were going into a situation that was likely to be unsurvivable, basically said, no, put us down there. I need to defend, we need to defend our fallen aviators who are hurt and are trapped in their helicopters. Both of those gentlemen received the Medal of Honor. And a lot of good soldiers died that day, 27 years ago, on the streets of Mogadishu in Somalia. So keep them in mind, keep their families in mind. Their children grew up without fathers. A lot of these young men, were at the prime of their life, really did not have an opportunity to enjoy the benefits of a long life and a family and kids and that sort. And to me personally, it just brings home the fact that, freedom isn't free. We pay an enormous price for it. We've paid it in Iraq, we've paid it in Afghanistan, we've paid it in Mogadishu, we've paid it so many parts of the world, and we will continue to pay that price in order to keep our country free and to help those that are oppressed and seeking freedom and liberty throughout the world. So keep those men in your prayers, the Army Rangers, the Delta operators, 10th Mountain Division folks that fought in Mogadishu 27 years ago. Thank you for listening to this program. Thank you for supporting me. Hope you find this interesting. Hope you enjoyed our guest, Ana Maria Rodriguez. And I'll see you again next week on Moscow Mas here on ENTV USA from the Cachita Universal Studios in Miami, Florida. Thank you again to our sponsors, Longevity, Cachita Coffee, and Grimal Joyeria. Take care. Have a great weekend.